First of all, John, how are the walking wounded from Boxing Day?
Well, they're surprisingly all right. Obviously been together this morning, all the lads are in pretty good health, and as you can see, I've got a little bit of a smile on my face. Once you come away from it and have a few hours of thinking time, and you come to terms with a defeat, which usually does take a long time with me, I have to say. As I said yesterday, try and pick the positives out of it. I've sat and watched some of the DVD from the game itself as well. And it's a game we could have won 4-2, you know, really, with the opportunities that we had. I just looked and it was quite a nice surprise actually. I saw the chance that Nicky Adams had after about 2 minutes when he's just gone through one-on-one with the keeper and just pulled it wide. You know, that goes in the net, it's a completely different story. Gary's had a clear header as well after about 10 minutes from a set piece that when he sees it again, we'll probably think, you know, it's a good chance, maybe he could have put that in the net and it could have been a completely different story. But so I take a lot of plus points out of it, and we finished a stronger team, even though we were losing at the time. We went right to the end, and that says a lot for the boys' physical condition. You know, they're in good shape.
That's on the strength sapping pitch as well, isn't it?
On a very difficult pitch to play on with regard to sapping your strength. You know, at times they were running with lead weights around their ankles. You know, the pitch was very, very heavy, as it was for both teams, of course. But nevertheless, our boys still finished strong, and that's testament to everything that went on during the game. You know, we had 2 players that went off with injuries in the first half, 2 very influential players that went off, and of course we lost Billy as well with about 10 minutes to go, I think. So all in all, you know, I'll take a lot of pluses from it, and we'll be washed down. They were washed down this morning. Had a bit of a cuddle with 1 or 2, and pick their chins up off their chests and get ready to go again against Notts County on Sunday.
You mentioned the 2 players who came off, Nicky and Danny. What's the situation with those 2?
Well, Nicky's fine. Nicky has fully recovered. Even this morning, you know, he's had a workout this morning. He's okay. Good news as well that Josh Simpson should be available for selection on Sunday as well. He's recovered from his injury. Emil is back fit as well. So it's not all doom and gloom really. You know, it's come in this morning and had the good news on those 3 in particular. Danny, unfortunately, is bad news. He's going to be missing for a couple of weeks. He's fractured a cheekbone, and you know, it sums up the kind of player he is, prepared to put his head in on an opportunity. It was a goal scoring opportunity, and gets himself injured, and so he'll be a big loss to us. But we have to compensate for that. It opens the door maybe for somebody else to come in and take their chance. So all in all, you know, it's a lot healthier this morning, Bruce, than probably it was at 6 o'clock last night.
In terms of this league and the ability for most teams to beat each other top v bottom, I don't suppose you take too much notice of where Notts County are at the moment, because they'll be a difficult side to break down, won't they? Yeah,
I've actually said to my players that this will probably be the hardest game you've had out of the three previous games of Preston, Leyton Orient and MK Dons. 3 teams that are in elevated positions, you know, in the league. And Notts County, this probably will be the most difficult out of the 4 games. So you know, it's going to be a tough game against them. Certainly Sean Derry has got his team organised, and they only lost in the last minute against Port Vale by 2-1. They, you know, all the match reports we've had suggested that, you know, they're very well organised and roll their sleeves up, and just as Sean was as a player, his team mirror him in many respects. So I know that it's going to be a tough game, but it's up to us. We're at home. Hopefully the pitch will be in slightly better condition, depending on how the weather is in the next 48 hours, and an opportunity for us to win at home, which we haven't done for quite a considerable time. But you know, as I said straight after the game yesterday, 3 matches against Preston, MK Dons and Leyton Orient, I'd have gladly taken 3 points. You know, 10 days ago, if somebody said you got 3 points a draw from each game, and we've ended up getting 4 points from it. So we're actually in better shape than I initially was hoping for, I suppose. So if we could beat Notts County here, it would represent a good haul really from my first 4 matches.
You mentioned yesterday about the possibility of adding to the squad.
Yeah.
The transfer window opens on January the 1st, but I guess
Yes.
the preparatory work for that is already underway in terms
Yes,
of trying to identify
yes.
players.
Well, we've been doing quite a lot of prep in the last 3 weeks. Lots of phone calls, lots of people on the road up and down the country looking at things, exploring avenues, and we've had a few custard pies, but we hope to add to the squad. And as I said, you know, I treat the club's money as I would treat my own. We need to, whatever we do by bringing in people, obviously if we're adding to the wage bill, we have to make sure that it's the right person, and you know, you can make change for the sake of making change, and I certainly don't want to do that. I want to bring people in that are going to be valuable to us, that they're not just here for a payday, they're here to graft and work hard, and to make sure that everybody's looking over their shoulder when they're in the team, that there's always somebody waiting to pounce to take their place. I want that healthy competition, and obviously I want us to improve. That's the main reason that I'm here. I'm here really to improve everybody, and if that means bringing in 1 or 2 new ones that will improve the squad, then that's what we'll do. But I hope to be busy over the next few weeks, yes.